With the 2028 season in the books for Coach JC, it's time for our end of season update where we'll look at the stats, the coaching record, the award winners, and even take a look at the coaching carousel and see if we're going to stay at UCF or is it time to finally make another move. Let's dive in. What's happening? Welcome back into JC CFB, where you can see all kinds of CFB 25 and soon to be CFB 26 content with me. JC, of course, been bringing you through the Coach JC's Dynasty series, Coach JC's journey since the game came out. We're all the way up to the year 2028 now. Just finished the regular season with another Big 12 title. Hopefully you caught that, but wanted to give you guys a little update on where things stand here at the end of the regular season before we hit the CFP. That's right, UCF's back, seeking that three-peat after winning two straight natties in JC's first 2 years as a head coach, going for that three-peat in year three. But let's see what the team's final stats were individually, what the team stats were overall, what JC's coaching record is looking like, take a look at the CFP bracket, and then take a look at the coaching carousel and see, is JC going to stay or is he going to go? Let's take a look at this, guys. Let's dive in. Appreciate you guys tuning into this one. Hit the like button while you're in here. That helps us shit ton with the YouTube algorithm. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more College Football 25. And like I said, soon to be College Football 26 news updates coming as well. Already have one out on the channel, but appreciate y'all. Let's dive into the end of season update. All right, guys. So getting into it here, going to advance the week and we're going to get into the stats, and then we will get into some of the award winners and such. You see some of the recruits coming in. Still going to have a great recruiting class here at UCF. We're battling to have number one recruiting class in the country, actually. Done another great job recruiting this year, has Coach JC. You see the award winners from the Big 12 Conference Championship game there as we beat Texas Tech. Back-to-back weeks, funny enough. Played them final week of the season, then had to play them in the Conference Championship game. Good performance there by our defensive tackle. But let's take a look at some of the stats here now. You see the Heisman finalists first off, and you see we have 4 out of the 5 names there are actually guys from UCF. At one point this season, all 5 were UCF players, so you see the type of dominating season that we've had this year. But let's look how good we did it individually. You see Larry Truong, the QB, nearly 4,800 yards, 53 passing touchdowns, only 10 interceptions for my boy Larry Truong, getting the start as the freshman, and he's got a great case to win the Heisman as he also added 1,071 rushing yards and 19 touchdowns. And, of course, Camacho taking over as the starting running back this year, over 1,700 yards and 14 touchdowns of his own. Last year, starting quarterback that made the position change to running back this year, Josh Smalls, 460 yards and 10 touchdowns, hard to see, sorry about that, guys. But then Kason Stokes out there having an amazing season, over 2,000 yards. You know, he won the Heisman a couple years ago. This year, over 2,000 yards, only 44 receptions, and 26 of those were touchdowns. Stingley with a great sophomore season, 803 yards, 9 touchdowns. Over 500 yards receiving from our running back, Camacho. Over 595 yards receiving for the receiver, Terrell Drew. Josh Smalls adds 343 yards receiving. And then we have a couple other guys that hit over 100 as well, as we threw for a lot of yards. Some of the individual defensive stats that are going to stand out, of course, for me, it's we racked up a ton of sacks. We racked up a ton of interceptions. You see multiple guys here. We got 3 guys with 20-plus TFLs there with Johnson, Presley, and Batista. Multiple double-digit TFL guys. And then sacks, we had Chasen Johnson rack up 12.5. That's why you saw him in the Heisman watch. Jihad Presley with 10 sacks. Batista with 9. Downs, who you just saw, had 8 sacks on the season. Pachal with 6. 4 for Russ. And then a couple others with multiple sacks as well. Interceptions. This one thing that we did a great job of was forcing turnovers. Clements with 6. Hayward and Penn both with 5. Batista with 4. Johnson with 2. Body with 2. And multiple guys with a single interception as well. And then we did have some safeties that we actually forced this season. Safety for Marcus Downs and Hayward, and then Batista, Body, and Presley scored defensive touchdowns this season. Much like last year, our backup running back was our kick and punt returner, and Smalls did a good job there, had a punt return touchdown. Let's see where we rank nationally, though, in some of these statistics, because they look like good numbers, but let's see how they stack up. Truong led the nation in passing to end the regular season anyways, here before we go into the playoffs. Over 50 touchdowns, leads the nation in passing touchdowns as well, and his completion percentage really high up there from quarterbacks that actually played a lot of snaps. Rushing-wise, Funny enough, both of my quarterback and running back are the leader in the nation in rushing yards. They're 1 and 2, and 1 and 2 in rushing touchdowns, with 19 and 14 respectively there for True Long and Camacho, and Smalls near the top 10 in rushing touchdowns as well. Cason Stokes leads the nation in receiving with only 44 receptions, but like I said, over 2,000 yards, well in the lead there, and leads the nation in receiving touchdowns with 26. So you see what he did. Also led it, of course, in average yards per reception, as you would expect with that low number of catches and that high number of yards. Punt returns, of course, Josh Smalls, one of only a few that had the touchdowns there. Making a case for returner of the year is Josh Smalls. But let's see where we ranked as a team now. And as it has been, throughout the case of my time at UCF, we kind of led the nation in most categories offensively. And this time I think it's across the board, actually, for the first time. Total offense, passing, rushing, points per game, passing touchdowns, rushing touchdowns, and first downs. Rushing touchdowns, first downs, rush offense have been consistent, but we've added everything else to the mix this year. Defensively, for the second straight season, we lead the nation in sacks by a wide margin, and we lead the nation in interceptions. So 2 consecutive seasons lead the nation in sacks and interceptions for our defense at UCF as well. So not only doing a good job with the offense, but a good job with the defense as well as Coach JC. And speaking of Coach JC, let's look at his career record now, all the way up to 68-5, 43-2 in his now 3 seasons at UCF as he heads into his 3rd CFP, looking for a 3-peat. So there's where the stats are individually, where we rank nationally, and the coach. And here's some of these guys, and that's why they're up for a lot of these awards. You see Player of the Year, a slew of different UCF guys, the ones that are up for the Heisman, of course, and several others down. So what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the top 12 Player of the Year candidates are from UCF. Coach JC, great chance to win Coach of the Year. Best defensive player, we have multiple guys in the hunt for that as well. Best defensive back, UCF has multiple guys there. Pretty much our whole secondary in contention with the year that we had. Best running back, the top 2 candidates are Smalls and Camacho. Stokes with the case to win best receiver. Downs, of course, with the case to win the Lombardi. Then best tight end, McClain, who came over this year with the position switch to tight end, had a great season there, is in the hunt. The Broyles Award, good chance to be either our OC or our DC. Batista, Presley up for best linebacker of the year. So we're leading many categories, and best returner of the year. Can we repeat? Last year was Cesar Camacho, our backup running back. This year, Josh Smalls in the hunt. So that's what we're looking to see, but we're in the CFP, so let's see where we'll be. We'll, of course, have the 1 seed. We'll either play UNC or Oklahoma, and, of course, we'll have to win 3 games to have a 3-peat. After winning back-to-back natties. But there's a look at the CFP bracket as we'll get closer to that, and we'll see who we play here in a second. But let's advance the week, and let's see what of those awards we bring down. And, of course, then we can dive into the coaching carousel as well. All right, and we get some more recruits coming in, of course, as we advance the week. But now we get to see some of the cool award winners, and we get to see our matchup as well. Coach of the Year, Coach JC brings it home, baby. Shout out to Coach JC on his journey, winning Coach of the Year, as well he should with the dominating season UCF has had. Our offensive coordinator, Joey Barrett, wins Offensive Coordinator of the Year as well, the Broyles Award there. Then we get Larry Truong, the Player of the Year Award winner. Our freshman quarterback that we redshirted last year takes over as a starter and has an absolutely dominant season that also leads to a Heisman Trophy. That's 3 straight Heisman winners at UCF. Cason Stokes 2 years ago, Chris Johnson last year, and now Larry Truong. Chason Johnson wins Best Defensive Player of the Year. Cason Stokes, as we just talked about, he wins Best Receiver, another dominating season. Could have been a Heisman candidate yet again. And then Larry Truong, Best Quarterback Award winner, of course. After the Player of the Year in Heisman, you kind of expect that. Cesar Camacho, in his first year starting, wins the Best Running Back Award after last year being the backup and being our kick and punt returner. Chason Johnson with the Best Defensive Back Award winner as well. Led the team in sacks, a lot of good edge blitzes. And yes, we do go with the repeat Best Returner of the Year award winners. This time last year's quarterback, now running back Josh Smalls brings it home. Best linebacker Eric Batista will land that for us at UCF. And then Marcus Downs does end up taking home that Lombardi Award. Hey, so there you have it, guys. The award winners. And now let's see what job offers we have. And oh, man, we got some blue bloods calling us. 3 big head coaching offers. Alabama and Florida out of the SEC, Oregon out of the Big Ten, and, of course, we have an offensive coordinator offer. But we're looking to remain a head coach. But this might be the time to leave UCF. We've got blue bloods on the table. I don't really want to go to Florida because that's kind of a rival of UCF, so I'm kind of considering Alabama and Oregon here. And, going back over it again and again, just trying to decide where I'm going to take my talents to. Where is Coach JC going to be in 2029? That's the question. Oregon, you got all those great unis. You get to go to the Big Ten. Either one, you can't go wrong with either decision. But I think, Nick Saban was a West Virginia guy. Let's let another West Virginia guy, a West Virginia native, come there and try and win some games at Alabama. In 2029, Coach JC will be taking his talents to Tuscaloosa. That's right. We'll be the head coach at Alabama after the CFP. That's the big news. And I can tell you, we will meet Oklahoma in the CFP. They did win that first round game. So that's what's coming up, guys. Stay tuned on the channel for the CFP and then the future where we'll be saying Roll Tide. Hey, whoa. So there you have it. The big surprise, of course, is offers coming in the coaching carousel. Some big names there, some blue bloods. It was hard to pass up. So Coach JC now is going to be saying Roll Tide in 2029, as that's where we'll move on to. But first, we got to get through the CFP. We're still going to try and get that three-peat, finish off with another natty at UCF. So stay tuned for the 3 CFP games coming up on the channel. And then, of course, we will do a preseason update after we go through an offseason at Alabama and let you guys know where things stand. Our first year there as Coach JC's journey will now take him to Alabama, where he'll be saying Roll Tide in 2029. Exciting news. Can't wait to see what happens with this moving forward, but let's get through the CFP first. Hopefully you guys tune into that, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed Coach JC's journey through college football 25. I'll be back soon with another update video. Hit the like button before you head out, and be sure you're subscribed to the channel for more college football 25 content. Appreciate you guys tuning in this one, and I'll catch you on the next one.